Before I get too far in this video, I gotta start it off with a question, and be honest with me. Have you ever played a Steamworld game? A series that initially started on the DS as a tower defense game from DSiWare called Steamworld Tower Defense has manifested itself into becoming one of my all-time favorite game series ever created. Steamworld Dig, Steamworld Heist, Steamworld Dig 2, and coming soon to a Nintendo Switch near you, Steamworld Quest. If the answer is no, then do me a favor, stop watching this right now and go download one of these games on your console or PC of choice. May I suggest Steamworld Heist if you're into real-time strategy games, or if you like more of the Metroidvania, get one of the Steamworld Dig games. You can't go wrong with either one of those, but if you want the full story, probably start with the first one. Now for everybody who's still with me here, you're either watching this video because you love the Steamworld series, or you're interested to find out more about Steamworld Quest. You came to the right place because I absolutely love this series and can't wait for Steamworld Quest to come out on the Nintendo Switch later in 2019. With the way I'm talking about this game, you probably would think that I'm being sponsored by Image Informed Games, but I'm not. They are just one of the nicest game companies I've ever had the pleasure of dealing with. They've always been upfront and direct with me as far as any questions I've had. They've responded nearly immediately, provided game codes, and provided any feedback I've ever needed on any of the games, any questions I've had. Boom, they are on it and they are passionate about video game making, which at the end of the day, that's really all you want out of your game company is someone who's passionate about making great games. Now the reason why I am so excited in particular for Steamworld Quest is because it shifts up what I've expected out of the series. Coming from Steamworld Dig, which I absolutely loved, I jumped over to Steamworld Heist expecting a similar experience and got a completely different game. Instead of an action RPG Metroidvania, it was a real-time strategy game, and I could have never imagined how much I would have fallen in love with that game. So much so that I think still to this day, I've played that more hours than any other game on my Nintendo Switch. And that includes Octopath Traveler, which I sunk like 80 hours into. These games are so much fun, and I can't believe people don't play them, they don't know about them, they don't put any time into them because it's an indie developer. Why should I care about an indie game? They're not AAA, they're not trendy, they're not making all the marketing blitz and all the spectacular splashes in the news. Why should I care about those games? Because they're fun. And at the end of the day, we play video games because they are fun. At least I do. And I would like to think the vast majority of gamers out there are kind of with me on that. You play your video games because you want to have fun. And Steamworld Quest is switching up the formula once again. Instead of it being a Metroidvania game or a real-time strategy game, it is now turned into a card-based action RPG, which, first off, when I initially saw this, I was like, ooh, okay, that's different. That's not what I was necessarily expecting them to do with this direction of the series, but you know what? I said the same thing about Steamworld Heist, and I love that game more than I could have ever thought, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. As I watched the trailer for this unfold, I got more and more hyped for it. In fact, I am so hyped for Steamworld Quest that it is my most anticipated game of 2019. That includes all AAA titles, that includes all other indie games. I can't wait for this game. Now, initially it was Metroid Prime 4, but now that that's been kicked down the road forever, it opened up the doorway for a brand new game to show up being my most anticipated game of 2019. And the biggest reason why I'm most excited about this game from Image Inform is I'm confident they're not going to let me down with how great the game actually is. As opposed to a lot of other games out there that are all hype and then end up being just fluff. This game looks like it's going to be beautiful art styles with cards that you can mix up and match the gameplay to be a completely different game every time you play through it, challenging you and making you critically think on how you're going to defeat enemies and what directions you're going to go in the game. It just seems like such a perfect mix of all the elements I've ever wanted. And yes, I do kind of have a soft spot for card-based RPG games, even though I wouldn't necessarily openly admit that typically. After I saw this trailer for the game, it made me realize that all the other card-based RPG games I've ever played in the past I always enjoyed them. So if you're not hyped for this game, I'm starting to wonder what you get excited for when you play video games. Maybe it's a little too childish for you, maybe you don't like the colorful environments, I don't know. As far as what I want out of a game, this is everything I could have ever hoped for and more, and that is exactly why Steamworld Quest is my most anticipated game of 2019. Be very interested to hear what you guys think about this game. Are you excited about Steamworld Quest? Did you know about it? Did you get pumped when you saw the Nintendo Direct? Have you ever played any of the Steamworld games? If you're still watching this, even though I told you to stop, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.